Hi, welcome back. I'm your fabulous host, Miss Jackey Carolyn. Now, as you can see, I am no longer It's a Jackie thing. Instead, we are Titus, me and my crew. So TITUS Entertainment revolves around animations, comics, novels, children's books, and illustrations, and that's what I hope to see in this future coming. Now, you can still go see It's a Jackie Thing. It's my other channel that I've had for multiple years, which was originally Heart. And to go forth with the future of TITUS Entertainment, it's to honor the future of how I see this in the world for this channel. So I want to see it rocket with art and animation and to honor. So to honor the future, I'm starting off with this new lovely, beautiful painting that I did for a fabulous woman who commissioned me. Now, she asked me to talk about the Bible and how to relieve stress for this video. My story and the battles I faced with stress my entire life and the still ongoing stress and anxiety that we face every single day.
Now let me tell you, for the start of this video, with finding an angle to record this painting, it was excruciating. Like, I don't know how them YouTubers get this looking so easy, because with the tripod or a light and your phone, it's like, girl, give me a second to breathe. Oh, but what is stress? What is stress? Like, as humans, we don't actually understand this ourselves, but we get stressed out. Animals get stressed out, even plants get stressed out. It's a crazy thing. So what is stress? Stress is a feeling of an emotional and physical tension. It can come from anything to everything, ranging from frustration or anger or getting nervous. Stress is a challenge in your every single day life. When you wake up, when you go to school, when you're recording, when you're painting, everything in your life. It is a challenge with stress. And depending on your situation, it can be easy or it can get 10 million times worse. How do we deal with this anxious monster and break the chains of its grip? Let me explain and tell you my story on defeating stress and coping with stress. So it was about 4 years ago I started having pseudo seizures. Now, I didn't understand this at first, but what I did know is any and every time I got stressed, I'd have a nasty seizure. It left me with a migraine, lisp, and unable to function properly. I was upset and in pain constantly every single day of my life for 4 years. I don't know how many, I can't tell you how many seizures I've had in those 4 years without learning how to cope with stress and defeat this anxious and evil monster. But 4 years of pain and suffering, that's what I had to go through until I finally learned. Every day was a battle with stress. Ups and downs, lefts and rights. This was also the same time I hated God. I hated him with a burning passion. And I pushed him away. I tried being a woman of faith, but with no faith. I hated my life. I hated my mind, and I hated my body. It actually wasn't until this year that I've become more loving and devoted to God and finding myself and fixing what was wrong in my life, what I did not like, what I hated about my life. Aside from part of my life story, I'd tell you how to destroy and cope with stress. So this is what happened. This is what inspired a big portion of this video. I was listening to Joyce Meyer, and on her sermon of calm down and cheer up, the story she was talking about was how Jesus was on a boat with his disciples. Now, I believe the verse from the story is Matthew 8:23 through 27. So, Jesus got up into a boat, and his disciples followed him. And suddenly, a furious storm came. Waves crashing down and rocking this boat back and forth, splish and splash. Wow. Now that's some gnarly and crazy stuff right there. So all these waves were crashing over the boat over and over again, and the winds were rocking back and forth. Do you know what Jesus was doing? He was sleeping. He was sleeping. Now, when I say he was sleeping, how do you think his disciples felt? Worried, anxious, like, wow. Oh boy. So they woke him up, saying and begging to Jesus to save them. And Jesus says to them, "You of little faith, why are you so afraid?" So Jesus got up, he stood up calmly, and he rebuked the wind and waves and stopped everything. Everything went still. Now, when I was listening to Joyce Meyer, my mama and me, man, what a day. We were having a pretty gnarly day. It was a terrible day. We were anxious and oh so very stressed. Like this day, it was like Steven Universe with big goopy tears coming out the eyes. So stressed he couldn't see straight, stressed. It was a really bad day. And all I could think about was praying. So I prayed and I prayed and I prayed. I poured my heart out in prayer. I was praying to God like there was no tomorrow. We felt so overwhelmed that we couldn't stop praying. And it wasn't until we took a minute and stopped what we were doing, took a deep breath in. Like, people aren't joking when they say take a deep breath in. It really does help. So breathe in the good and breathe out the bad and negative. Bad and negative can go fly kite. But breathe in the good and healthy energy and life and light. Breathe it in. So while we were stressed and anxious after that, I was like, "Hey, Mama, let's listen to something." And she's like, I want to listen to a sermon. So, lo and behold, actually, the first sermon that popped up was Joyce Meyer's Calm Down and Cheer Up. While we were listening to this, I feel like this day, bad things that happened in it, had a lot more valuable and strong messages for us. Life's a rush, and we don't take the time to stand up or sit down and breathe. To know everything's going to be okay. If you're mad, stressed, and anxious, you have to learn how to be still. If you're upset, the devil wiggles in and takes advantage of you in that situation. But if you put all your trust and know Jesus is right beside you, know that you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. I promise you. We have those good days and we have those bad days, but I feel like as humans, as people, we take for granted those good days. And we let those bad days outweigh the good days, and that's why we think of stress as even a more tedious and horrendous monster. So we don't take time and see those good days and those bad days. So I guarantee there's a lot more good days and blessings than those bad days have to let on. We just keep on living in the past and staying away from the good days. And that's something we got to learn. How I felt about this while I was making this video with my life period, with stress and anxiety. If you know Jesus is right beside you, you're going to be okay. That's how I learned. I had to go through self-battle for myself, hating my life, to know Jesus is right beside me, knowing he's always been there, that everything's going to be okay. So my challenge for you, for the people who believe in God and who don't believe in God, take a moment in your life and stop what you are doing. Sit down. Know that you are loved, no matter what. If you don't feel loved, know that somebody out there does love you. Know that God loves you. I was one of those people that didn't believe in God, that thought he hated me. That if he loved me, why is bad things always happening? But that's not true. He's more interested in building your character than he is about every single day life. If Jesus had to go through all that torment before he was crucified, do you really think your life is going to be a piece of cake? I don't think so. But for those people out there, take a moment and sit down. Sit down right now and take a big old deep breath in. Hold it there for just a couple seconds. And then let it out. Breathe in that positive energy, life, air, and light. And let go of your self-doubt and hatred. So a lot of anxiety comes from ourselves. Feeling like we are not good enough. So we put ourselves in those situations where we cause stress on ourselves. And this is where that stressful, anxious monster comes along and alive and starts messing with us, okay? So take that moment and know you are a beautiful, amazing, lovely person. No matter what anybody says, you're still amazing. No matter what you're going through, you're amazing. The fact that you got out of bed this morning, you are absolutely fabulously amazing, okay? Know Jesus, okay? Know this word. He is right beside you, and you're going to be okay. Here, I'll put it a little simpler. There isn't no reason to cry over spilt milk. You can't go in the past and fix it. You can't go into the future to see it. So be still and calm and walk with it. Now, I understand for a lot of folks, this might still be confusing. So here's a couple of verses that have stuck with me during hard times. Matthew 6:34. Therefore, do not be anxious about tomorrow, for tomorrow will be anxious for itself. Know that tomorrow is sufficient for the day is its own trouble. Don't worry about what's to come when it hasn't come yet, and don't count your chickens before they haven't hatched. Exodus 14:14 says, the Lord will fight for you if you have only to be silent. Now that's a whole other video on its own, which I promise I will explain. And don't forget about Psalms 55:22, to cast your burdens unto the Lord and he will sustain you. He will never permit the righteous to be removed. These are just a few verses that have helped me with everyday life, and the biggest challenge to face in life is to stay in the safe zone. As humans, we rarely ever push ourselves to be something better, to do something greater. Instead, we keep ourselves in the same place. We repeat the same habits over and over and over again, doing the same thing. That saying about habits die hard is very true too. So like I said, take a big deep breath and let it out nice and slow. And don't forget to push yourself to grow. And know that God is always there. That the moment you gave your life to him was the moment that all your troubles were his and not yours. The moment I gave my life to him was the moment that I surrendered all that I was, all the stress and anxiety in the world to him. It was not my own. I didn't take care of stress and anxiety, he did. Know that your troubles are his now when you do it. If this video ended up on your page and you watched it all, Thank you so much. I hope it's helped you in some way. And if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. If you have any prayers or need any prayers, please tell me down below. I'll keep you in my prayers. And if you think someone needs to hear this message, or you just want to share, please do. Remember, you are always loved. So stay fabulous, stay you, and I shall see you next time. Adios, my beautiful and lovely people. Bye-bye. Mwah.